So like I said, I noticed that a lot of my packages were going missing. After they said it would be delivered, I would look in the bushes next to my house and there would be nothing there. After a few more went missing, I told my dad about it and he got a camera installed. It was pointed at the front door, but if you were to be standing there, you wouldn't be able to see it. After we installed it, I ordered another small item and I waited 2 days. We tracked the order and we watched through the camera as the Amazon guy went up to my house, dropped off the package, and then left. We watched the camera for a few more minutes. All of a sudden, we see our neighbor come up on our front porch and she took the package. I ran out of my house so fast to confront her and I told her to give my package back, and instead she dropped it on the ground. I then told her to give me back my other packages and she just pretended to not know where they were at. After that, my dad came out and threatened to call the police and he told her that he had her on camera stealing our packages. After she heard that, she went into her house and came out with 6 different Amazon boxes and 1 bag of clothes from a website I had ordered. After that, I took my stuff from her and she walked away. To this day, we don't talk, and if we see her outside, we don't acknowledge her.
One time I was behind the register at Victoria's Secret. This customer walks in and immediately everybody spots her as a red flag. She's just picking up items, throwing them in her bag, not looking at sizes, not looking at colors. So everybody's like, Everyone's on their walkie like, watch this customer. She's coming to the fitting room. She's headed to the cash wrap. Somebody get her. Check her ID. Get her. Get her. She has a bag full of stuff. And guess who gets her at the register? Me. So she comes to my register and she dumps out her stuff, and we're having a regular conversation. Hi, how are you? Yada, yada, yada. Her total comes up to probably between $700 to $900. It was expensive. My manager is at the register next to me, talking to me on the walkie. Ashley, make sure you get that ID. Don't matter what she's using, make sure you get that ID. So I ask her for the ID because she's paying credit. Why do you need to ask for my ID? Just take it, run it. I'm like, no ma'am, I'm sorry, I need your ID for the purchase. She starts to raise her voice at me.
Crazy ass story time about how my best friend's parents walked in on me sleeping with my best friend's brothers. And yes, I said brothers. So my freshman year, I became best friends with this girl. And she had 2 older, hot-ass brothers. One was in college, and one was a senior. Well, it was Christmas break, and her older brother from college was home. And my parents let me go with them to Florida for Christmas break. They had a super nice beach house, and I was sharing a room with my best friend. And the boys were sharing a room. And our room was connected because there was a bathroom in the middle. Well, my best friend got super sick the first 3 days of the trip, so she didn't do anything with us. So I was hanging out with the boys all the time. Well, the one night we were on the deck and we started to play Truth or Dare. And one of them asked, would you sleep with us? And I said, yeah. So at around 3 a.m., I snuck into the room and things started to get real nasty. There are kids on this app, so just use your imagination. And things started to get really loud and we woke their parents up, like for part 2.
Storytime about the girl who tried to scam me. I had a friend refer a homegirl to me. It turns out this homegirl had 500,000 followers on Instagram. I had just started doing TikTok videos and I was super excited to get the exposure from doing her nails. I told her to send me an inspo pic and she sent me this really hard V-cut Halloween set. Practiced for a week straight. I wanted them to be perfect. I was hoping she'd post them online and maybe introduce me to some new clients. So she arrives at her appointment on time, we get started on her set, and I take my time with the details. I finish up as quickly as possible and she loves it. I was so excited and she tipped me an extra $40. She wanted to rebook with me ASAP. Thought it was kind of weird she wanted to rebook with me so soon, but I went ahead and rebooked her. At night, she posted a picture of my nails on Instagram. She's talking about how cute they are and she tags my name. Of course, I like the photo and I comment thank you, but next thing I know, I'm gaining way more followers on my Instagram. I take note that I need to give her a discount at her next appointment. But y'all, the next day, I get another tag on Instagram. She had posted her nails again, but this time she was missing 3 on each finger. This is what her caption said. Hey Luna, my nails are falling off. What would you like to do about this? I'd like a refund or a full set. I was shocked, and it had 1,000 comments.
Am I the asshole for refusing to attend an apology dinner after my mother-in-law called me a bad mother at my son's funeral? I lost my son to congenital heart disease, and he did not survive the open heart surgery at the age of 1 year and 6 months. Mother-in-law and I were in constant conflict. Things always been bad between us, but in those months, we reached our limit. She kept getting involved in my son's treatment and criticized every decision I made, claiming I didn't know how to handle my son's illness. We went low contact, but she kept causing issues occasionally. My husband was torn between our son's illness and his mother's issues. When my son passed away, she came to the funeral and caused a scene by arguing with me, knowing I had no energy for it.
Oh my gosh.
She used the fact that everyone was there so she could say it was my fault my son was born sick and I didn't take care of him properly, and that I was the one who took their grandchild away from them and caused them heartache. She then loudly called me a bad mother. I had no idea how I kept my composure.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life. I'll go first. 2 years ago, I was walking my dog at the park and a man approached me and asked to take a picture of her. And I said yes, because why not? It's a picture of a dog. So he starts taking a picture of my dog, and then I realized that he was like holding up her collar, and then it hit me. My address is on that collar. He's not taking a picture of my dog, he's taking a picture of my address. So I told him that I actually didn't feel comfortable with him having a picture of my dog, and I asked him to delete it. So he deletes it and then like starts walking away really fast. And I was like, "Excuse me, sir, no, could you also go into your deleted album and delete it from there?" And he goes, "I don't have a deleted album." And I was like, "You have an iPhone, everybody has a deleted album, could you please delete the picture?" And he was like, "Sorry, I don't have a deleted album," and like keeps walking away. And keep in mind, this is like 2 p.m. in a park, like there's other people around. So now I'm like chasing after him and I'm telling him, "Sir, I know you have the album, I will show you where the album is, can you please go onto your phone so that we can delete the picture?" Oh, part 2.
Story time about my psychotic best friend. So we're gonna call this girl Gia. So a little background information. This all happened whenever I was in 9th grade. I saw Gia sitting at this lunch table alone and I invited her to come sit with my friends and I. And after talking to her, I found out that she was a new student and she didn't have any friends. So her and I started hanging out and we became really close. Like she would come over my house 24/7. Well, my older sister was a grade above us and she would act really weird around her. And by weird, I mean like she would always make fun of me in front of my sister. And weirdly enough, try to cause problems between us. My sister didn't really like her. She thought that she was weird. But because she was my friend, she was being super nice to her. Well, like a month later, she started trying to become best friends with my sister. Like any conversation she would have, I would be like, "Oh, do you want to come over?" She would be like, "No, sorry, I'm hanging out with your sister today." And I would go home and I would be like, "Hey, are you hanging out with Gia today?" And my sister would be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like for part 2.